everybody.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Katy, and this is The Mo and Katy Show. We're two friends from two different worlds, coming together in harmony for one podcast. We're random, ridiculous, and have been taking humor seriously since 2018.
Each week, we'll share two positive news stories, a quirky fact, today's weird holiday, a shared experience, and we may even play a game. All while punning the crap out of each other.
No, you can't say that.
Fine.
It's
The Mo and Katy Show.
Gratitude, humor, positivity.
Hey, everybody. I'm Mo. And I'm not Katy. I'm actually holding down the fort again for the Mo and Katy Show on this second Friday of February 2022. This will be a short one. You only have to listen to me for a little bit because it's our gratitude, humor, and positivity, aka the Mo and Katy Show blend, because it is the second Friday of the month. So I will hold down the fort while Katy is out and about getting ready. I believe she and her husband are having a romantic Valentine's Day weekend, so that's good. In the spirit of Valentine's Day, I'm going to try to do my what's going on in the world and some things that are kind of based on relationships, I think, a little bit. That's my plan. Who knows? You know, I'm the wild one, so who knows what's going to happen with this. But I'm also the editor, so I do know what's going to happen with this. But I'm going to try to do this without a take and with having a minimal bleep budget. So I will start off with my what's going on in the world. And the what's going on in the world that I chose today was about a guy. His name is Curtis Kimball, and he lives in San Francisco. And I think he was just looking to make new friends, because maybe it was around Valentine's Day, maybe it had nothing to do with that, but he was looking to make some new friends. And so he thought, I'm going to host a Saturday morning pancake party. And by doing that, he actually started he started a new neighborhood tradition. So he kind of was just like, I'm just going to put a flyer out there. And he put flyers up around his neighborhood there in San Francisco. And it said, my wife says I'm getting weird. She says I need to make friends, so I'm making pancakes. And he put those out in his neighborhood, and I believe 75 people or more showed up that Saturday, and he ended up making over 125 pancakes. So his goal is to basically have this to be a nationwide thing. So on Saturdays, you make pancakes and you share with people. I really like this idea. I like pancakes. I'm not sure if it works with waffles as well, because I know some people like pancakes but not waffles, or vice versa. I like them both because my favorite food is food. But anyway, Curtis, what did I say his name was? Curtis Kimball. He also is the owner of the Creme Brulee Cart. And so obviously he's got a little baking skills. If I were to make pancakes for people, they'd be like hockey pucks. Nothing against hockey or the pucks, I'm just saying. See, this is where I would normally say get the puck out of here, but I probably can't do that, so I won't. Anyway, yeah, so Curtis Kimball, San Francisco neighborhood, started a neighborhood tradition on Saturdays, making pancakes and sharing those with the people around him, and a good way to meet your neighbors and meet new people. So I thought that was really, really cool. All right. Now, normally Katy would do her what's going on in the world, and let's just assume it was going to be about pancakes as well. But then she rolls right into her quirky fact. And I obviously not a big fan of the quirky fact because it wasn't my idea, quite honestly. But she has good quirky facts, but I thought I was going to try to find a quirky fact about quirky fact. But I couldn't find one. But the best thing I did find is about trivia. And if, for those of you who may not know, Katy and I co-host trivia. And just a little sneak peek, and hopefully Katy won't get mad at me for telling you this, but Katy has written a jingle. She has written the lyrics for it. She's written the music for it. And I've actually heard 3 different versions of it, and each one keeps getting better. But it's a jingle, basically, about the Mo and Katy Show trivia night. And it's awesome, and I'm excited. I don't know when we'll debut it, but I'll wait for Katy's permission on that. But we co-host trivia at the 10 Ike Brewing Company every Thursday, except for this Thursday and the past couple, because I've been on the road, and I'm, in fact, in my RV right now. But I thought I would look up about trivia. So when I tried to Google quirky fact about quirky facts, the best thing that came up was that knowing obscure facts is actually good for our mental health. And I thought that's pretty cool. And it kind of fits in with the fact that, Katy likes to give her quirky fact. And I know there's one of you out there who want to hear her quirky fact. And it's not a lot of people, but it's usually just Katy on the replay. And that's fine. But playing trivia, and that word was playing trivia can actually give you a dopamine rush. Kind of like gambling, but losing less money. And so they were talking about, this article was talking about how when you do trivia night and you get this kind of rush of maybe you've studied and this really obscure fact, most of the obscure facts you could get from Katy's Quirky Facts right here on the Mo and Katy Show. But they basically were talking about there's this dopamine rush, and it's a neuro reward signal, aka a dopamine bust or burst. Is this some sort of bust? Yes, thank you. No, I just thought it was really cool. So I think it's actually good that Katy's doing these quirky facts, and I hope that you remember them. I know I've been watching some game shows and things like that, and I've actually seen some of the questions on these game shows that were previous quirky facts right here on the Mo and Katy Show. So I'm just saying. Anyway, without making Katy's head too big about her quirky facts, all I want to say is that trivia and knowing obscure facts is actually good for your mental health. There you have it. You are welcome. For all the Mo and Katy Show listeners who like the obscure facts. Now, there's going to be some shoddy reporting in that because really quirky facts is Katy's thing, and that's when Carrie and Saru, that was a portmanteau of their names. Carrie and Saru can critique Katy on her shoddy reporting, not me, because I'm just telling you like it is. Knowing obscure facts, good for your mental health. Boom. But this is the part where I transition into what day it is today. And I want to say today, February 11th, right before Valentine's Day, is National Satisfied Staying Single Day. And it basically is this annual event because it's so close to Valentine's Day. But it's basically saying, you know what? Single people can enjoy a day alone or without being involved in a relationship. So even if you're in a relationship, maybe this is a day for whatever reason, geography, work schedules, doesn't matter, a little fight, who knows, that you are by yourself. Today's your day, and it's okay to do that. I know some people can't, go to a meal by themselves, go to a restaurant. I go to restaurants all the time by myself because then I don't have to argue about sharing the bill and all this other stuff and whatever. But, or maybe even going to the movies by yourself. Are people going to the movies right now? But I'm curious, are you a kind of person who is okay going to a restaurant by yourself or going to the movies by yourself or basically doing any kind of activity alone by yourself? I mean, I kind of like it. Sometimes I go to dinner. I'll go to a restaurant by myself. Now, I will say one quirky thing about that, maybe it's not so quirky, I don't know. I always have to have my back basically against the walls, so I would never have my back to the door, especially if I'm dining by myself. And if I'm also being candid, sometimes I like to pretend I'm Sandra Bullock from Miss Congeniality and I'm reading a book in a Greek restaurant that's got a little spy camera in there. I mean, that's the play, the plan, but I don't, minus the Heimlich and minus getting my partner shot. But everything else is pretty on brand. And I really do want world peace. But anyway, I just want to say today is Satisfied Staying Single Day. And this is the Friday before Valentine's Day, aka VD. So the Friday before VD is Satisfied Staying Single Day. So to all the people who are single just because maybe geographically or by choice or just because of work schedules, today's your day. Go out, have a day, be alone, be comfortable, and celebrate it. There you go. Now, in light of the fact that it's almost Valentine's Day, it's almost VD, I know last year we did pickup lines, and pickup lines are so much more fun when you have two people doing them, but I'm going to try a couple. I'm going to practice these. Okay, so here's some, and when I say really good pickup lines, I mean really bad, like so bad that they're good, that's kind of thing. Now, I saw one that said, "You're like the wind because you blow me away." And then another site I saw said, "You're like a fart because you blow me away." I don't know. Dealer's choice on that one. I'm guessing wind is probably more correct, but fart might be more memorable. And if a pickup line is to be memorable, I don't know. Go with the fart. That's all I'm saying. Okay, here's another one. NASA called. They said, "You're out of this world." I think the delivery is important. Yeah. Okay. "You must be nitroglycerin." I didn't say that well. You must be nitroglycerin because you're dynamite. No, I just think of that. Who's that guy from Dynamite? Now he's doing like insurance commercials or something? Anyway. Jimmy something or another. Well, no one's going to help me. I'm just here by myself. Okay. Here's another one. This is very timely and I think appropriate given the past couple years. Call the CDC. Your smile is contagious. Again, delivery matters. These are good. All right. My favorite word is menu because it has me and you. Yeah, the deliveries are good. Okay. All right, here's one. Are you the Manhattan Project? Because you're the bomb. That's probably not very politically correct, is it? Okay. All right, last one. Do you like raisins? How do you feel about a date? All right, I'm going to go. My favorite one is you're like a fart because you blow me away. I just think that's memorable. Anyway, I'm going to offer those out to you, and you guys can use them as field research, and you can test them out and let me know how those work for you. And, if they work really bad, then maybe we'll all be celebrating Satisfied Staying Single Day next year. Who knows? All right. Now I will do the quote. This is awesome. I have just carte blanche control out of all these things. So here's the quote I chose again. I'm choosing it with a love theme, but this is by Roy Croft, and it says, I love you not because of who you are, but because of who I am when I'm with you. Isn't that awesome? I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. This is by Roy Croft. I love you not because of who you are, but because of who I am when I am with you. I think that's really cool. I like that. I just think that's really important, and I think, again, regardless of whether people are in a physical relationship or even a friend relationship or just a neighborhood relationship, when we're in connection with somebody else, I like it when we find connection with somebody who makes us a better version of ourselves. So I wish that for everybody who's listening. I wish that for everybody in the world, to find somebody who makes them a better version of themselves. And I will say, Katy, who is probably listening just because it's the podcast and she's not right next to me, but I love Katy because she makes me a better version of myself. So I am very grateful for the Mo and Katy show because Katy does that for me. So, Katy, thank you. That Roy Croft quote is just for you. Well, it's for everybody. Anyway, I'm wishing everybody relationships with other people who make you better versions of yourself. That's awesome. Okay, now this is a short one. That's what she said, because this is the day, the second Friday of every month, we do the Mo and Katy Show Blend, which is when we interview different people just to find out how gratitude, humor, and that's why it's a blend, and positivity resonate in their lives. And this year, well, it is this year. No, okay, this is the second one. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. This month we are talking to Nikolai Vanyo, and we actually met Nikolai. So most of you know that Katy was a contestant in the Punniest of Show, and she came in second place. Thank you very much. In the Punniest of Show, which is an annual tradition they have at the O. Henry Pun-Off Museum. For those of you who didn't even know that was a thing, it's a thing. And Katy is masterful at the puns. I found out through this process that I enjoy wordplay more so than puns because I'm not good at the puns. Katy's good at the puns. Anyway, so we were in, the whole weekend was about, they had a pun slingers, which is two people just basically punning off, and they would have 5 seconds to do their puns. And Katy's submission was part of Punniest of Show, which is a separate competition for the same weekend. Katy came in second, but Nikolai Vanyo, who we interviewed today, it came in first for the pun slinger. So again, that's the competition where you just go head to head, you get a topic and you just go back and forth, and you have a 5-second time limit to get your pun out there. And he was amazing, and it was just phenomenal. And he has like this next level smart, it's smarter than smart. It's like intellectual humor. In fact, he's the co-host of Vocabulary, which is a variety show in New York City. And it's a show made for people who love language, and he'll talk about this a little bit. Anyway, he is just a fascinating guy, and just his level of intellect and the way he plays with words and pummels them and beats them up and finds a different way to present them was just awe-inspiring. And so we got to watch him do the pun slingers when he won the pun off at, it was online because it was, last year. Call the CDC. Your smile is contagious. Anyway, so I will cut us over to our interview with Nikolai Vanyo, co-host of the Vocabulary in New York City, and he was top gun of the 2021 Pun Slingers. We're serving up a freshly brewed blend of gratitude, humor, and positivity.
Offering a fresh perspective by talking to someone who's not Mo
or Katy
on how gratitude, humor, and positivity work in their life.
It's the Mo and Katy Show blend.
Yeah, so actually how we were stalking you. So you guys both had submissions in Punniest of Show, but we were cheering you on watching the Pun Slingers, which you won, and it was just fabulous. Like, your level of humor is so advanced, and we've been watching the Vocabulary as well. I'm like, Katy, I might be too smart for this.
That might be too smart. You might not be smart enough for it.
Yeah, but no. So we admire anybody who's got it's one thing to be funny, but you are intelligent funny, and so we were just really we want to reach out to Erica as well, but really, really just admire your level of humor, and of course, so Katy came in second in Punniest of Show with her
Punner's Blues
song, and then we watched yours, and of course I'm a font freak, so I loved your fonts in yours. But
thank you. I don't know if this is too into the weeds, but I almost changed everyone to be the color of the sauce, like every caption.
Oh my gosh!
And maybe even fonts, but like I did search for the font for a long time, but then I was thinking like, would it be too much to be like the ketchup one is red, the mustard one's orange, or whatever, orange, yellow? But then I was like, what color is ponzu? I was like, I don't know.
I've used brown 4 times now. Yes.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of brown, and brown doesn't look good.
So just because I've had problems with this before, is your name pronounced Nikolai or Nikolai?
Either one. I say Nikolai, but
okay.
I don't. When people say Nikolai, it's totally fine. I think with E sounds, it's more of a thing. Like I have a friend named Eva, and if you call her Eva, no.
Yeah, God forbid. Yeah. So
that's a good transition to talking about, words and sounds. And I know you are a part of the team that does the Vocabulary. So just, how different ways that you play with words and play with sounds. So what does that look like? How do you all put together that event, and what are like some of the details of that?
Well, that show is maybe from more of a higher vantage point, I would say, than like Punderdome, which is where we all met, and No Henry, which is also something we've done together. A lot of the same people, which is more about like picking apart individual words into their constituent parts to try and like make puns based off of. But Vocabulary is kind of what we, as decorated punners, whatever, and word lovers, wanted to do a deeper dive into. So like last night's show it was about talking animals. So I have a dog that I love and wanted to talk about. And so I talked about how she speaks with me, and so it's more of like a broader language perspective than like picking apart words, which is something we're all very comfortable with and have done a ton of. Like we've all done, we met during Punderdome, or doing Punderdome, sorry. And so we've all like done 1,000 pun competitions and done that, exercise that muscle. But this is to like kind of get reasons to deep dive into other stuff. Like again, last night's show, my co-host Jersey, who's won No Henry before as well.
Yep. Yes, we've watched a lot of Jersey videos.
Yeah, he's great. And he last night went into the history of lolcats, the meme, like how people have been ascribing anthropomorphic speech to animals, to specifically cats, since the 1800s. Like he found like old books where there's like a black and white image of a cat, and they've captioned it as if the cat is talking. And it's like, and that goes on to today, where there's, all the internet memes of like, I Ken has cheeseburger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like not really like after the show is talking to someone who doesn't know me from the pun world and was like, didn't know that that was something I do, or like that was a talent, and he had just seen the show, but he's just like, oh, I thought it was about language. Like it's not necessarily about wordplay. It's more those of us who are very interested in language and wordplay, just getting to kind of flex both muscles, or more the language muscle than the wordplay muscle.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love what you guys are doing. I love that you all are taking performance to an arena where it hasn't really been before. I think that's really cool that you all are doing that. It's really cool.
Yeah. And our venue Caveat in New York is like very perfect for it, because they do like, there's, they run all sorts of shows, and it's all pretty niche. Like they do, they have, male burlesque shows, and they also have shows about the internet and shows about trauma. They have a really good comedy show that's hosted by like someone who went through a really bad trauma, and he invites other people that have gone through really bad traumas to like talk about it in comedic lens. It's a good, it's a venue that takes a lot of chances and does unique shows. Like you're not going to see the same thing night to night, like a lot of venues. And we're really lucky that it exists and that it survived the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. You talk about the intersection of different, first of all, I love the word anthropomorphic. So it's one of my favorite words. So I love that you use that. And we're always talking to and for our dogs.
Yes, we are.
So I love that. But you talk about the intersection of comedy and intellect. And I think that's the beauty of puns and wordplay, is that there's that blend of something funny and it's just next level. I mean, wit and sarcasm kind of in the same thing. So that's kind of what this interview is about, is that blend of,
yes, absolutely.
Of things.
And another thing we like to talk about the blend of is kind of what our pillars are for our podcast: gratitude, humor, and positivity. And just wondering if you could speak to that a little bit. Like, where do you see gratitude, humor, and positivity like working in your life, or even working together in your life? Any of those elements?
That's tough. I mean, I think humor is the most important thing to me.
Concur.
And I think I've thought a lot about how it's kind of a unique, like it doesn't have an opposite in my mind. Like there's, happiness has sadness, positivity has negativity, but there's no there's nothing that's the opposite of humor, I guess. Like there's seriousness, but like even seriousness after, tragedy plus time equals comedy. Like there's no opposite of laughter. I don't know. Like you could say crying is the opposite of laughter, but I think crying is the opposite of like smiling. I don't know.
You can cry, I think it's like, you can cry laughing too.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point though. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I think it's like a very uniquely human thing that is probably evolutionarily significant for some reason. I don't know what it would be, but like I think
Jersey will talk about it next week, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's very interesting as a concept, because I don't know, maybe dogs and dolphins and other creatures find things funny, but it does feel like it's a kind of gift to humanity if they're.
Yeah. Wow.
I think there's something else too, is I think people put humor and laughter as the same thing. And I think they are distinctly different. I think that's another thing that people talk about, humor and laughter being the same thing, but I had never thought about what's the anti-humor. Yeah, that's a really good, a good point. I have to say though, and I won't say the actual thing, but my favorite, when I fell in love with you was during the Punslinger. And one of the things I love about is how you are intelligent, but you are a very considerate punner in that. You had in the Punslingers, you have a 5-second time limit and people are counting. There's a lot of pressure. All eyes are on you. And it was during the groups or something like that. And I'll just say that what you were punning was Insane Clown Posse. And the way you did it. And you're like, hey, look, the time, the championship's on the line. I'm going to say that. I'm so sorry. And then you set it up. That's all I'm going to say for the audience. But Insane Clown Posse was
brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. It was so, I mean, you in 5 seconds, you came up with Insane Clown Posse. Then you came up with the setup to how you delivered it. And it was very, there was 3 layers, and there was France and the Seine, and a woman. Just to be able to talk to you and just to see how your brain, it was fascinating. So anyway, I'm just going to say it's Insane Clown Posse. Kudos, mad
brilliant.
respect. But anyway.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I don't, I don't want, like, it's rare to go dirty, but if you're going to go dirty, it better be good, I guess, is like my thought. Like, yeah. I feel the same about stand-up. Like, if you're going to be offensive, you better be really funny, because then it's enough to make it worth saying. If, and even then it could not be, like, there's plenty to argue over that. But it's like, if it's bad and offensive, like, what are you doing?
That's a good point.
But also, like, Punderdome, which is the competition I like cut my teeth on, is a very, I guess you could say woke. Like, it's just like a very like forward thinking, like, no one wants to offend. If you do say something off kilter, you'll probably like get booed a little bit. Like, it promotes being, and not like clean necessarily, because plenty of it's dirty sexually or whatever, but it's never like, if you're offensive, it's not going to go well for you.
Right.
Which I think is not necessarily historically the case with O. Henry, probably because, you know, it's a wider swath of people, and like, you know, a Brooklyn pun show is going to attract like a certain kind of person. Whereas, like, you know, Texas old guys might not feel the same way.
Yeah, we get it.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting you say that too, because when we started out the podcast, we have a kind of just a little bit of the red lines, like where we're not going to cross, the things that we're not going to talk about, the things that we're not. I mean, we're very intentional about that. But the one thing, so I spent like 30 years in the military, and then I started getting into the improv world and the public speaking world, and this very kind of off the cuff talking. And I remember for my entire life, my professional life, I've had to filter what I say. Like, the first thought that comes to my mind is never appropriate. I know that. And so there's this blend when you talk about like that, with that comedy element too, when you're trying to be kind and you're trying to be generous and grateful, but you're also trying to be funny in that intellectual part of it. Do you have to filter a lot? Like, do you find the first response is not always the most appropriate one, or?
Totally. I mean, especially in the punning thing where you're trying to come up with stuff off the cuff, like your brain, I think we're wired kind of to go those directions pretty quickly because it's like punchy or whatever. And it can be funny, but it's like, it's a kind of challenge that I'm happy to take, where you reject that first thought or whatever, you know, if it risks offending anyone, it's just like not worth it. So it's a challenge to then rise above it. But I find there's almost always a way. Like, you could, like, if the easy way is somehow is like offensive or even like close to offensive, you can usually remove it. Like, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I'm trying to think of an example, but it's easier and more worth it to try and move laterally and like think of a way that you can play off of the possibly offensive thing than it is to just like throw out something that could be offensive. Or dirty or whatever. I mean, dirty is fine in Punderdome. Dirty is fine in a lot of these cases, but as long as it's not like mean. But
it's a choice, and you and I appreciate the fact that you are intentional about it and you're aware of it. I mean, honestly, the way your mind works is really impressive, and I appreciate that ability to pivot in that moment with that time constraint. And
Absolutely.
I'm just jealous, I guess, because my filter, it's gone. Anyway,
it's fine to also.
Yeah, there are times for it.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's it's like I think with all these things, it's about what the audience is expecting and wanting. Like, I'm not one to hoist my pun brain upon unsuspecting people, because I think like they're not asking for it. But if they show up to Punderdome and pay $20, I'm going to give them as much as I can, because that's what they're there for. Or if they come to Book Cabaret, they'll get a little bit of it, whatever. Like, if you're signing up for puns, then that's what you want. If you're not, a lot of people don't, even though it's like, I think they have a bad rap for being dad jokes or like
Corny
stupid or whatever. Like they are cringy, but that's like its own kind of, there's a lot of studies on it. I mean, I've like back in the day when I started getting into this, there is intellectual rigor around like what our reactions are to wordplay.
Yep.
And I think it gets a bad rap because of it, but it's not something that's really that people really like understand is very clever. It's like, it's hard. It requires lots of mental leaps, and it's if you appreciate it, then or if, I don't know, if you can pick it apart, then you will appreciate it, I guess.
Yeah.
We do that a lot. Well, and we're such dorks that we have the Punderdome card game, which I don't know if it's based out of the original Punderdome organization. We have Puns of Anarchy, and we have.
But I just remember how we knew about the O. Henry, because we both read, we both owned the copy of The Pun Also Rises, which the guy who won O. Henry in whatever year.
That's right.
That's how I learned about
That's
it.
right.
With The Pun Also Rises. But The Pun Also Rises is again, that's when I learned that I do more wordplay. Katy is a brilliant punner. I do wordplay. She does puns. And yeah. And with the whole punner's blues thing, I told her, I said, all I care about is the word rectum is in there, like rectum, damn near killed him. And so that was all that
last verse.
Anyway, so getting off topic though, I'll let you.
But that's really awesome. And I love when you're in like a social situation and you kind of throw something out and you see like, you kind of are fishing to see who your people are. It's like, okay, you get it. Like
you need to leave. Yeah.
So I think, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish that thought.
I was just thinking, like, I think because these shows have given me like my own punning social circle, I generally like in those groups, I will, no one will hold back. Well, we might hold back a little because it's like kind of expected, but in a normal social circle, I don't pun that much. Right? Like I could, if people ask me to, which is also kind of weird.
That's funny.
It's like pun on command.
Do it.
Well, I mean, because they've like it's kind of a party trick in a way. It's like, oh, this, you've won a bunch of punderdomes or now at the O. Henry, and it's like, dance for me.
Dance for me, Nikolai.
I don't generally. I don't know, unless if it's really good. Like I will think of a bad pun, keep it to myself. But if it's like, oh, that's gonna get everyone, then yes, I will definitely share it.
Awesome.
That's what I should be doing.
That's what you need.
Storing out the
yeah. So where can people find out more about you, Nikolai? I know that you in your that you've done some film stuff, that you do a lot of.
You are also our first guest. I'm sorry, Katy.
Oh, yes.
You are also first guest with an IMDb page. Hello. You've arrived when you've got an IMDb page. I thought that was fascinating.
I guess,
so where can people on social media find out more about you and kind of follow the things that you do?
You can my website is nikolaivanyo.com, which is my name, which is
so
easy to find.
How did you come up with that?
That's clever.
I keep it pretty up to date. So I've my movie that I directed is up there, a bunch of music videos, and also some fun stuff. I recently added like some footage from vocabulary shows and from Punderdome shows, so you can see that stuff. I guess that's kind
cool.
of
that's a good landing page. We'll put in our show notes.
We'll put that in our show notes for sure.
So that's all the administrivia stuff. Now, This is, at the risk of sounding like we're going to say, hey, tell me a pun, Nikolai. So I'm a big fan of dad jokes. And so I would like to hear your best, worst, or worst, best dad joke. Like, and this is a lot of pressure because, we hold you in high esteem.
You are a champion.
You are a champion. Not that jokes and puns are the same thing, but yeah.
A joke that is not original, like not my own.
Yeah. What's what's your best, worst joke?
Best cringy joke.
I mean, my best cringy joke is you've probably heard it, but why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
I have never heard this.
I don't know.
because the P is silent.
That was worth it right there.
Right there. I'm assuming that wasn't the dog. That was awesome.
That's
I'm
perfect.
surprised you didn't hear that. My favorite joke is not that popular, but it's Schrodinger's cat walks into a bar and doesn't.
That's the problem. Unless you watch The Big Bang Theory or you're smart like you, that joke is lost. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to keep you more. Nikolai, we really just want to talk to you and kind of pick your brain because we really are really big fans of yours. And again, Insane Clown Posse was, I mean, the Pterodactyl was close, but yeah. And again, we just wanted to talk to somebody who has got that intellectual comedy vein like you do, and just again talking about how gratitude, humor, and positivity play out. And so we'll be looking for what the anti-humor is in the meantime.
That's right.
So, but yeah, and so what we tell our listeners, and by the way, they are expecting puns from this one, but we just tell people to be grateful and to keep laughing and to stay positive. That's really all we're about.
Cool.
But, yeah.
Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much.
If you made it this far, congrats. Woo-hoo! You are part of our elite tribe of weirdos, and there aren't too many people who like us like you do. But that's where we need your help. Rate, subscribe, follow, and share this podcast. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Follow us on social media and tag us in any of your Mo and Katy show interactions, because we give you homework using the hashtag TMKSPod. The Mo and Katy Show has been produced, edited, scripted, recorded, catered, directed, and engineered by Mo and Katy. Our theme song is It Is Fun by HookedSounds.com. Here's wishing you gratitude, humor, and positivity until we see you next time.